Later and latest are used for time. You can simply say, I'd prefer the latter. Elder is not used with then, the greater metaphorical distance. The shop is farther down the street. So, welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to further study the formation of comparative and superlative. This session is going to help you understand the correct usage of many words, and importantly, it will help you, clear up some misconceptions. So this is going to be fun, and I look forward to it, to be honest, and you should too. Yesterday, I talked about late, later, latest, late, latter, last. Now, I said that we discuss this further, so now is the time. Actually, late, later, latest. Later and latest are used for time, while latter and last are used for position. Firstly, let's look at later. Now, what is the meaning of later? Later means more late in time, that is after something else. Now, let's look at latest. Latest is in the superlative degree. Latest means most recent in time. Now, let's look at a few examples. This is the most latest model of iPhone. Latest model, the newest, the most recent. I have not heard the latest news. Now, latest again, the most recent. Now, let's talk about latter. So, latter is a comparative adjective, and latter means the second of the two mentioned things. So, you have mentioned two things, and when you talk about the second of the two mentioned things, you use latter. Let's try and understand this with the help of a few examples. So, when you go to someone's house, they usually ask, would you like tea or coffee? You can simply say, I'd prefer the latter, or I'd take the latter. Here, latter means the second of the two mentioned things. So it simply means you're going to take coffee because you said, I'd prefer the latter. Another example could be, you can travel by bus or train, but latter is faster, or latter is a faster option. So yes, latter means the second of the two mentioned things. So finally, we have last. Now, last is the final one in a sequence. And I think it is simple as well. You know what last means. So let's look at a few examples. He was the last person to arrive at the party. Last person. Another example could be, this is the last chapter of the book. Last chapter. Chapter is the noun, last is the adjective. And yeah, it is in the superlative degree. Now, let's talk about old. The comparative and the superlative of old are old, older, oldest, old, elder, eldest. It has two comparative and two superlative forms. Now, this is something really, really important. So, do note that elder and eldest are used with persons, not with animals and things. Importantly, elder is not used with then, that is THAN. Older, on the other hand, is used for all persons, things, and animals, and there is no such concept of older not getting used with then, that is THAN. Let's look at a few examples now. John is my elder brother. John is my eldest brother. We have used elder and eldest attributively, and that's how they are actually used. They are mostly used attributively and rarely used predicatively. And importantly, as I mentioned, I said John is my elder brother. I cannot say that John is elder than. We do not use then, THN, as I mentioned, with elder. Another example could be, I respect my elder cousin for his wisdom. Now let's talk about older and oldest. I am older than my sister. In this case, we can use then. I am the oldest son of the family. He is the oldest member of the family. The older buildings in the city have a lot of character. This is the oldest building in the city. Now, let's talk about farther and further. So, farther is actually used for greater physical distance, while further is used for greater metaphorical distance, that is, figurative distance. Now, let's understand this with the help of a few examples. Kolkata is farther from the equator than Colombo. So, we are here talking about greater physical distance. The shop is farther down the street. Farther. We are talking about greater physical distance. Physical distance. Something that can be covered by you. But let's now look at an example of further. We need to discuss this further. Are you going to travel this distance? No, you will not. So, further is a greater figurative, metaphorical distance. Let's look at one more example for each case. The station is farther than the bus stop. Farther, physical distance. After the discussion, he made no further remarks. Further, metaphorical distance. This is important, so let's talk about this. So, certain English comparatives have lost their comparative meaning and are simply used as positive. Importantly, they're not followed by then. And these are former, latter, elder, hinder, inner, outer, upper, and utter. So these adjectives actually have lost their comparative meaning and are simply used as positive. And if you remember, when I talked about latter, I did not use latter with then. Similarly, I also mentioned elder is not used with then because these are one of those adjectives that have lost their comparative meaning and are simply used as positive. So that is it for today. I hope you got to learn something and enjoyed the video. And yeah, guys, do like, share, subscribe. Lots of love and enjoy your life. Life is precious and it is meant to be enjoyed. Just a suggestion, you can simply remember older and oldest and not really worry about elder and eldest.